वसुदेवसुतं देवं
वसुदेवसुतं देवं
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं
देवकी परमानन्दं
देवकी परमानन्दं
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं
नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे
नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे
कुलारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र
कुलारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र
येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णा
येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णा
प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः
प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः
Namo Namaha, Shubhodaya, good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you are joining. It's the 7th class on the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 7th hour of the talk on the Sankhya Yoga, the second chapter. As I mentioned in the beginning, it is the summary of all Bhagavad Gita is contained in this chapter. It's a preamble to the whole message of Bhagavad Gita is contained in this chapter. Mahabharata, as I mentioned, Bhara means heaviness. It's a Mahabharata is so heavy. And it is called as, it's regarded as the fifth Veda. Veda, though the four, we say there are four Vedas, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. Four Vedas are there. This is called as the fifth Veda. This fifth Veda is regarded as even more heavier than other four Vedas. It is the four Vedas to understand in what context I have to understand. To understand the concept of Vedas, you need a platform. That is why Mahabharata is regarded as even heavier than the Vedas. The Panchama Veda, it is called as the fifth Veda. Panchama Veda, it is heavier than that one. Otherwise, if you do not have a Mahabharata, and for the normal people, when you read the Vedas, we don't understand in what context they are talking about, in what reference they are talking about. What reference they are talking about, to understand that one, you need to refer to Mahabharata. Then only you understand the four Vedas. This fifth Veda, if you want to understand the Mahabharata, Vedas, you need to understand the Mahabharata. It is said that each sentence of Mahabharata has at least 10 meanings. At least 10 meanings. Each sentence, each word of Mahabharata has at least 10 meanings, and the Brahma's lifespan is 31,104,000 followed by 10 zeros. 31,104 billion years his lifespan. He is still contemplating on the deeper meaning of Mahabharata. He himself hasn't understood the full meaning of Mahabharata. Then how can we understand the greatness of Mahabharata? Just because I read Bhagavad Gita one time and I can't say that closed, I finished, I understood. However, many times you read, it opens up in a new dimension. It opens up a new dimension. A lawyer understands Mahabharata in a dimension where he or she can understand the law better. A politician understands that one in a different dimension so that he can be a better politician. Or a musician understands in different dimension. As a yoga practitioner understands in a different dimension. As a teacher understands in another dimension. As a doctor understands in a different dimension. As an engineer understands in a different dimension. As a trade person understands in a different dimension. As a retired person understands in a different dimension. Every phase of your life, there is a message for you. You can't say that I read as a child and it had a meaning as a child, and it as a householder it has a message for you. As a retired person it is conveying the message. As a person in the deathbed it has a message for you. Every phase of your life it is conveying the message. And as I mentioned last week, it's so much impregnated with messages. It's 100,000 shlokas are there. This could be composed none other than the Lord himself. Lord Vedavyasa himself had to come to convey this message. How he delivered? He delivered initially, he wanted a scribe. He conceptualized this one. Mahabharata, 600 years before the event had really happened. It occurred to him that sages, the divine beings, they can see what is going to happen 10 years time, 50 years time, 100 years time. They are called as Trikaladarshi. They can see the future. They can understand the present situation better. They can see the past better. We understand only the small things and we start asking the question, why? And we have abundance of questions. We don't understand many things. Whereas the divine people, they have the vision of past, present and future. Vedavyasa conceptualized. He saw what is going to happen. And what is going to happen? His incarnation. He came to the earth when there was a complete wipeout of knowledge. Gautama Rishi, at that time only one Veda was there. Veda was so complicated, only one Veda was there. He wanted the someone to come and decode the Veda, classify the Vedas so that ordinary people can understand. Gautama Rishi, and he wanted that one. So in the context of the bringing the way, he wanted the only Lord can do, nobody else can do. None of the rishis are capable of doing this one. So the story goes like this. He had at that time 12 years of famine. We haven't come across such a situation. 1 year no rain, 2 years no rain, people are in uproar, are crying, what happened? There is no rain. At that time, 12 years, no rain in the territory, except nowhere food is found except in the ashram. Around the ashram of Gautama Rishi, there is a plenty. Everything in abundance, everything, greenery was there, rivers were, the pond was there, water was there. So many Brahmins seeking the knowledge came there. There's a plenty of food is there, and he is an illumined person. And when many people came, Gautama, out of compassion, he started teaching them and various things. And after 12 years, rain started coming. These people, students who came there, and they said, "Sir, now rain has come and we have everything. We have a business in our own place. We want to go back." But Gautama, out of so much of love for the students, no, you stay here. And whenever students rise up to say, "Sorry, we want to go," he would say, no, you have to sit down. They did not want to offend the teacher. So, out of compulsion, they sat. So the students devised a method. They came together. We have to find a way to escape from here. And they devised a method, and they came together, and they prayed to Ganesha. There is a Ganesha's role here also is there, Mahabharata's incidents. And they prayed to Ganapati, please help us, liberate us from this teacher. We want to run away. And this teacher is not letting us. And so, Ganapati also, it's a divine will. He also wanted the Lord to come down. So, he appeared as a cow. He appeared as a cow and started grazing in Gautama's fields. The fields, it started grazing in the Gautama's fields. As it started eating the crops, Gautama, he just touched, you go away. He just touched, and the cow dead. Cow collapsed, and as if dead. These students, the Brahmanas were there. You killed the cow here. We don't want to stay in a place where cow has been killed. We want to abandon you. We will go away. We will go away. You killed the cow. How can we stay in a place where cow has been killed? And they all went out. Then Gautama, he sat and contemplated what happened. How it could happen. And he realized it was Ganapati. Ganapati came, our students played a trick on me. Then he cursed the students, all the students. Whatever you learned from me over the years, may everything get evaporated from you. May the knowledge get evaporated. May you become, dull people. Dull people. And so, whoever have learned from him, everyone became very dull. There is no knowledge. When there was no knowledge left, now how this knowledge can come? Knowledge had to come. That is a platform, preamble. Now the Lord himself had to come. Vedavyasa, that is how it is a when yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. It's whenever there is a glanir, whenever the knowledge goes down, I take an incarnation. Lord says, when the knowledge has disappeared, Vedavyasa appeared there to bring the knowledge. Knowledge, not only the knowledge, Vedas, he brought it out, he classified into, for ease of understanding, though it is one, it's in a poetic type, is Rigveda, prose type, it runs in a meter, it is Rigveda, it's a prose, Yajurveda with music, along with the music to be sung, Samaveda and Atharva Veda, other dimensions of Veda, that the karma part, everything is included in it's Atharva Veda. Not only that one, and he brought out Mahabharata to understand the Vedas. To understand the Vedas well, he brought out the Puranas, 18 Puranas. Puranas are the reference text. You can't read the Vedas just by picking up the one sentence and two sentences. I read in the Veda, Tattvamasi, and one sentence I read, no context is there. Shvetaketu and Uddalaka Chandogya Upanishad, some sentence I read, Tattvamasi, and I conclude that you are God. I conclude that, is it the context or what is the reference? Aham Brahmasmi, I read that one in another way, the Brihadaranyaka. It says, only why I pick up, I am God. In what context it is talking about? Have you thought about that one? Or just you are picking up the Vedas? Vedas, if you start picking up from one sentence here and there, you can't make a sense out of that one. Vedavyasa, for that, you can't understand the Veda as it is. Picking up one sentence here, one sentence here, one sentence here, making up, you can't understand. You need a reference text. What is the reference text? Mahabharata, you need Mahabharata. And is it enough? And he has given auxiliary text, Puranas. To understand, you need Mahabharata, you need Puranas, then only you understand. Otherwise, if you are not having any reference text, if you do not have a correct teacher's guidance, you are nothing but misled in your understanding. That is how Vedavyasa, he conceptualized 600 years before what was going to happen. He wanted a scribe to write down. He again, Ganapati, who was the right scribe? He knew that Ganapati was there before Gautama's ashram. He called him, and you are the right scribe. And Ganapati said, yes, I will write down, provided you should not stop. Continue to talk, you should not stop. The moment you stop, I will walk out. That was the counter challenge put by Ganapati. Vedavyasa said, okay, but I have another condition. You write, but when you are writing, you have to understand it properly. Without understanding, you are not a steno. Whatever is said, just typing. With understanding, properly understanding, you have to write. If you do not, you have to understand. Otherwise, that I will stop. He said, okay, I will write with full understanding. I am a brilliant person, Ganapati said. And so, Vedavyasa started giving the 100,000 slokas. Ganapati was writing fast. And Vedavyasa, he was catching up with Vedavyasa. So, to put a break, he introduces the complex verses. Ganapati used to scratch. What does it mean? Scratch his head. What did he mean? So, when he was paused, Ganapati could not proceed. He was thinking, and so Vedavyasa composed another set of slokas. When Ganapati was ready, he delivered. And when he was caught up, then another terse shloka. So, there is a divine touch. Mahabharata composed by Lord Hari himself, in Lord Hari's incarnation, Vedavyasa, and written by the scribed by and documented by none other than Ganapati. We say it is Vidya Ganapati, remover of obstacles. The Parvati's son, none other than the Parvati's son. It is grasped by Ganapati. There is a divine touch from the Lord himself and the Parvati's son. It's documented. There is a starting itself is divine. Mahabharata's starting itself is divine. And whereas ordinary composition, many, however great is like Kalidasas or Basa or other great kavis, great poets, whatever they compose, there is no sanctity like Mahabharata. Mahabharata has a divine touch from Lord Hari himself and through Ganapati and through Vaishampayana and Ganapati, that Vedavyasa. Where in our Shastra, last week, 2 weeks back, we had Vyasa Purnima. Today is the third day is Tritiya. On last Vaishaka Purnima was Buddha Jayanti, and a couple of days before was Vyasa Purnima, Vyasa Jayanti. Whatever place one sits, that is the place of reverence, where it is regarded as Vyasapita. Vedavyasa himself is sitting. Whatever one speaks, it is nothing but remnants of Vedavyasa. Vyasa Uchishta. Whatever, nobody can talk what Vedavyasa hasn't touched. In Vaishampayana, in Janamejaya's court, and Vedavyasa was sitting there, and Vaishampayana, Vedavyasa's one of the main disciples, he first delivered, revealed, he published the Mahabharata to Janamejaya, Parikshit's son Janamejaya, in presence of Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa was sitting. Janamejaya first published the Mahabharata in Janamejaya's court. So it's a origin from Lord Hari himself, and at the behest of Gautama long before, and through Ganapati first documented that one, preserved that one, and it has given to Vedavyasa's disciples and delivered in presence of Vedavyasa himself. There is a divinity runs across the Mahabharata. That is why it is called as Mahabharata. So heavy, you can't exhaust expounding on Mahabharata. We have covered a few shlokas. We will start on that one. Sañjaya uvācha tam tathā kṛipayāviṣhṭa aśhru pūrṇākulekṣhaṇam viṣhīdantamidaṁ vākyam uvācha madhusūdanaḥ śhrī bhagavān uvācha kutastvā kaśhmalamidaṁ viṣhame samupasthitam anārya-juṣhṭamaswargyam akīrti-karam arjuna klaibyaṁ gamaḥ pārtha naitat tvayyupapadyate kṣhudraṁ hṛidaya-daurbalyaṁ tyaktvottiṣhṭha arjuna uvācha katam bhīshma aham saṅkhye dronanca madhusūdana ishubhi pratiyotsyami pūjārhāvari-sūdana gurūna hatvārtha mahānubhāvān śhrēyo bhōṅtu vaikṣmamapīha loke hatvārtha-kāmāṁstu gurūnihaiva Bunjiya bhagavān rudhira-pradigdhān naitat vidma kataranagariyo yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu yaneva hatvāna jijivishama stevastita pramuke datra rashtraha kārpaṇya-doṣhopahata-svabhāvaḥ prucchāmi tvam dharma-sammūḍha-chetāḥ yach-chreyasya niṣchitam brūhi tanme शिष्यस्ते अहं शादिमां त्वां प्रपन्नं न हि प्रपश्यामि ममानुपद्य यच्छोक उच्चोषण इन्द्रियाणाम्
यशोकमुच्चोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम्
अवाप्य भूमावसपत्मवृद्धम् राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम् सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ऋषिकेशम् गुडाकेशः परन्तप न योत्स्य इति गोविन्द उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः तमुवाच ऋषिकेश प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्त इदं वचः Earlier Arjuna had resorted, he thought inaction is better than action in the crucial moment of life, and he well prepared, and he was in the Ajñātavāsa for 12 years in exile and the 13th year in incognito, 13 year in exile, and his rightly earned territory had been usurped by the wicked-minded Duryodhana. They were all prepared. We had to fight and claim our territory back. What injustice has been done, we had to correct it. But at the war front, in the last moment, it's a test time. I prepared whole year for the exam time. At the exam day, exam hall, I get a pity. Oh, what is the point in writing? What is the, if I get a job, I'm taking other person's role. What is the use? What is the use of money? I can go to some ashram, get some food, free food, and some lame excuses. Arjuna was also like that. Most of all us also like that. We start making compromises. Why take struggle? And you are happy as long as you are safe. Why you are worried about that one? For example, if you are in Australia or England or America, so life is so comfortable. Why worry? In India, I have a very good job, very good bank balance. Why unnecessarily invite trouble? As long as I am happy and as long as my wife is happy, my family is happy, why get unnecessarily take additional trouble talking to people, motivating people? Why bother? Are you the God to set the things right? You are not a God, it's a God's world. It's everything goes as per God's plan. And you are just a puppet. You do, you are comfortably live. I start excusing myself. Giving all Vedanta. I talk about Vedanta to my convenience. It's everything God's, if they are suffering, it is God's will. It is their karma, let them suffer. As long as it is my karma, I am enjoying. All Arjuna had similar arguments. Why fight? I will resort to forest or I start begging. Begging may be better. Lord, the purpose of Lord coming to give education to the generations to come, he used Arjuna as an instrument and he wanted to wake him up. And this battle, Lord, he could have destroyed the Kauravas by himself without getting incarnated. The purpose he is coming down, he wants us to be, we need a role model. Without he getting incarnated, he can manage the world. It's not difficult. And the purpose of Lord, he wants us to do something. Invoke the higher potential in you. Without you, also world will run. Whether you do or not, world is not banking on you. Things will go. But Sri Krishna is saying that you act, be an instrument in my hands so that your unfoldment happens. You have to come out of your inaction. If Lord is doing everything, everyone would have become resorted to inaction. Everything is Lord is doing, let him do, not the purpose. Lord wanted every one of us to come out of the inaction. When you're coming out, he wanted to, you have to be careful, otherwise you are siding, like Arjuna started siding with, on the crucial time, with Kauravas, negative people, wicked people. Lord deliberately brought Arjuna to the center. You are not associated with that side or this side. Come to the center and come to your own senses. Not to be partial, not to be one-sided, not to be lopsided thinking. Come to the center. You are not siding from the Ida point of the Nadi or thinking from the Pingala point. You are not thinking as a female side, not thinking as a male side. Not from the heart center alone, not from the head center alone. Come to the center. And now, come to the center, now. And when he brought Arjuna to the center, then Arjuna realized what in front of me, it is not just a charioteer. He is a divine personality, and Arjuna submitted. The looking at the keenness in the Arjuna, the teacher starts delivering. The best in the teacher comes out when there is a sincerity in the student. He became a sincere student. Then Bhagavad Gita started. And Arjuna said, I am thy disciple. Tell me what I have to do. And Arjuna, and towards the end, Arjuna says, Nasto moha smritir labdva. And towards the end, Arjuna says in the Bhagavad Gita, whatever wrong thinking, wrong concepts I had, illusion I had, running away, and those concepts I had, now it has been totally wiped out. Now I have come back to my senses. Nasto moha smritir labdva. I realize the purpose of my life. And I will do as you guided me. I will do now. So, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita for all of us to come out of inaction, come out of the wrong action, and get off, take off in your life. Like everyone must feel that one. Students of Lord, I have realized my own potential. All these days, I am thinking that I am a husband, I am a wife, and I am just a child, I am just an employer, I am just an employee, I am just a student, and I am an ordinary person. And I am thinking I am limited. Now, hearing this one, Arjuna says, I have realized my potential. I am not an ordinary small person in the corner of a town, sitting there, just whiling away time. I have realized an immense potential in me. I am unstoppable. I will conquer the whole world. I will conquer the whole world. That is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Art of man making. You are not ordinary, become someone extraordinary. Don't while away time taking excuses. Sorry, I have to do cooking. Sorry, I had to do that one. Sorry, I had to do work 9 to 5. Sorry, I had to do extra time. And there is no scope for sorry. When you realize your potential, no excuse is big. Everything melts down. You are unstoppable. That is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Now he starts slowly opening up the topic in front of us. Shri Bhagavān uvācha.
Shri Bhagavān uvācha.
Ashocya anārya-juṣhṭamaswargyam.
Ashocya nanva वाचस्त्वं
प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे
प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे
गतासून अगतासूंश्च
गतासून अगतासूंश्च
नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः
नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः
न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं
न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं
न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः
न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः
न चैव न भविष्याम
न चैव न भविष्यामः
सर्वे वयमतः परम्
सर्वे वयमतः परम्
देहिनोऽस्मि यथा देहे
देहिनोऽस्मि यथा देहे
कौमारं यौवनं जरा
कौमारं यौवनं जरा
तथा देहान्तरप्राप्ति
तथा देहान्तरप्राप्ति
धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति
धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय
शीतोष्ण सुखदुःखदाः
शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखदाः
आगमापायिनो अनित्य
आगमापायिनो अनित्य
स्तां स्थितिक्ष्वस्त्व भारत
तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत
यं हि न व्यतयन्त्येते
यं हि न व्यतयन्त्येते
पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ
पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभा
समदुःखसुखं धीरं
समदुःखसुखं धीरं
सो अमृतत्वाय कल्पते
सो अमृतत्वाय कल्पते
नासतो विद्यते अभावो
नासते विद्यते भावो
नाभावो विद्यते सतः
नाभावो विद्यते सतः
उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्त
उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्त
स्तनयो तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
त्वनयो तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
अविनाशिति तद्विद्धि
अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि
येन सर्व इदं ततं
येन सर्व इदं ततं
विनाश अव्ययस्यस्य
विनाश अव्ययस्यास्य
न कश्चित् कर्तु अर्हसि
न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
अन्तवन्त इमे देह
अन्तवन्त इमे देहा
नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
अनाशिनो अप्रमेयस्य
अनाशिनो अप्रमेयस्य
तस्मात् युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युद्धस्व भारत
य एनं वेति हन्तारम्
येनं वेति हन्तारम्
यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम्
यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम्
उभौ तौ न विजानीतो
उभौ तौ न विजानीतो
नायं हन्ति न हन्यते
नायं हन्ति न हन्यते
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
वेद विनाशिनं नित्यं
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं
य येन अज अव्ययम्
य एनम् अजमव्ययम्
कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ
कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ
खं घातयति हन्तिकम्
कं घातयति हन्तिकम्
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय
नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि
नवाणि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि
तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि
तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि
अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि
अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं दहति पावकः
नैनं दहति पावकः
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो
न शोषयति मारुतः
न शोषयति मारुतः
अच्छेद्यो अयम् अदाह्यो अयम्
अच्छेद्यो अयम् अदाह्यो अयम्
अक्लेद्यो अशोष्य एव च
अक्लेद्यो अशोष्य एव च
नित्यः सर्वगतस्ताणो
नित्यः सर्वगतस्ताण
अचलोऽयं सनातनः
अचलोऽयं सनातनः
अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम्
अव्यक्तो अयम् अचिन्त्यो अयम्
अविकार्यो अयमुच्यते
अविकार्यो अयमुच्यते
तस्मादेवं विदित्वेनं
तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं
नानुशोचितु अर्हसि
नानुशोचितुमर्हसि
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं
नित्यं वा मन्यसे हतं
नित्यं वा
मन्यसे मृतं
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
नैनं शोचितु अर्हसि
नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु
ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च
ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च
तस्मादपरिहार्येते
तस्मादपरिहार्येते
न त्वं शोचितु अर्हसि
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
अव्यक्तानिधनान्यैव
अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव
तत्र का परिदेवना
तत्र का परिदेवना
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम्
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम्
आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः
आश्चर्यवद् वदति तथैव चान्यः
आश्चर्यवच् अन्य मन्य शृणोति
आश्चर्यवचैनमन्य शृणोति
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्
देहि नित्य अदव्योऽयं
देहे नित्य अवद्योऽयं
देहे सर्वस्य भारत
देहे सर्वस्य भारत
तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि
तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि
न त्वं शोचितु अर्हसि
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
स्वधर्मामपि चावेक्ष्य
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्षा
न विकम्पितु अर्हसि
न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
धर्माद्धि युद्धश्रेयोऽन्यत्
धर्मादियुद्धश्रेयोऽन्यत्
क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं
यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं
स्वर्गद्वारा उपामृतं
स्वर्गद्वारा उपावृतं
सुखिनः क्षत्रियः पार्थ
सुखिनः क्षत्रिया पार्थ
लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्
लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्
अथ चेत् त्वमिमं धर्म्यम्
अथ चेत् त्वमिमं धर्म्यं
सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि
सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि
तथा स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च
तथा स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च
हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि
हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि
अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि
अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि
कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययम्
कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययाम्
सम्भावितस्य च कीर्ति
सम्भावितस्य च कीर्ति
मरणादतिरिच्यते
मरणादतिरिच्यते.
And here last week I said I will tell a story from Mahabharata, and what Lord is telling Arjuna, you are a well qualified person. If you run away and people start ridiculing you and they'll start laughing at you and will bring in the bad name. One who has been revered in the society, a bad name is worse than the death. There is a reference story in Bhagavad Gita, in Mahabharata. One story, one Gurukula, yes, Gurukula, one rishi called as Gautama, one person, Guru, and he was Gautama. He was running a Gurukula, and because of the old age, he had some health issues. He went to a doctor and they gave some kashaya. They prescribed a kashaya, lotion, and bottled, and that kashaya is he had some asthmatic problem also, breathing problem, and kashaya they had given, and it is kashaya is such that bubbles are rising up periodically. He was taking the kashaya and he did not tell this one to his students also, Gurukula. The one of the senior students, he was seeing this one, and every day our teacher is taking this one before going to sleep, and bubbles were rising. He thought it is alcohol. And he did not ask the teacher also, he did not dare to ask. He thought, my teacher is taking alcohol. And my teacher is a drunkard. Every day before going to sleep, he is drinking, and he started spreading a rumor in the ashram. You know what? My teacher is a drunkard. He tells us not to drink, but he himself is drinking every day. And I have seen myself. And that rumor from the ashram, it went out also. In the society also, people started talking. This Gurukula, this teacher, he talks about all hi-fi things. It's not to take alcohol, but it seems he himself is taking. We heard it from authenticate source. The source is very authenticate and the closest disciple. He himself have seen that one, and closest the student himself has seen. And can you that they started that talking at the back of the teacher. After few days, this teacher, anyway, because of the providence, he died. The teacher died, and teacher and the messenger of the death, they took him, and initially they wanted to, because he was running the Gurukula and all, they wanted to take him to the heaven, but gates were closed. And he asked, why? I did not do anything wrong. And message that he got a message there, and you people are talking ill against you. You never made an effort to resolve that one. People are talking negative against you. As long as the negative impression is left in the earth, there is no entry here. They said, we will give you another chance for you. You go, we will give you a life back. You go and you correct the impression. That he had died in the ashram, all the disciples next to the body were crying and wailing. My guru has gone. Apart from alcohol, he did not have any problem, and everyone was crying. At that time, he entered into the body and woke up. He woke up, and everyone was happy. And he then called the senior student, he called him. And what you are sending the message, spreading the rumor that I am drinking alcohol, he showed him the bottle. This one is a kashaya given by the doctor for my breathing problem. But without understanding the truth, you started talking spreading the rumors without understanding the fact. Like most of us understanding the scriptures, we take one line here and there, or in the WhatsApp what we see, they don't see the real picture, only what they want to project. News media, they project only one clip, and we don't know the head and tail of that one. We believe that one as a truth. And hearing that one, the senior student, he apologized. I did a blunder. Please pardon me. And the teacher said, now go and tell everyone that what you said was wrong. And he told all the disciples and people in the community also, it was the mistake from our side, and we were talking about the thinking that we spreaded the wrong information. In fact, it was a medication. We apologized. It's a blunder from our side. Everyone realized, and everyone in the community, they came to the teacher and apologized. Then the teacher realized that I have resolved. Then he actually left the body. Messenger of death came, and they took him to the heaven. And the message for all of us, I don't care what people will think. I live whatever way I want. And that is what we are a modern thinkers. Why I should care about others? It's a democratic country. I do whatever I want. I eat whatever I want. I do whatever my action. I don't care. That is a message for us. The reference is there in Mahabharata itself. Akīrti, people start talking negative. You have to be mindful. Why I have to abide by the Shastras? So that there is no negative. People are not talking against me in the community. I have to be mindful. I have to toe the lines along with the Shastras so that people are not talking ill against me. This one will affect not only now but also beyond my life. It will affect me. There is another story I will touch upon maybe next class. Another reference story. Next class I will touch upon. Bhaya Ranadu paratam mansyante tvam maharataha yesham cha tvam bahumato bhutva yasyasi laghavam. People will think again. Bhayadranadu paratam mansyante tvam maharataha yesham cha tvam bahumato bhutva yasyasi laghavam. Bhaya, people will think Arjuna is a cowardice. He out of scared, he looking at the big army of Kauravas, 11 Akshohinis, and Pandavas had only 8 Akshohinis. Looking at the size of the army, Arjuna ran away. People will be thinking, they will be talking, looking at, he thought himself as a great hero. Looking at us, he ran away. Bhayadranadu paratam and mansyante, and that all the people on the warriors on the other side will be laughing and ridiculing and talking about that one. And when the people on the other side, majority starts, they are talking, and they start talking very light of you. There is no respect. They will talk ill of you. Avācha vādanscha bahūn vadishyanti tavāhitaha nindastava samarthyam tathā dukkataram nukim. Avācha vādanscha bahūn vadishyanti tavāhitaha nindastava samarthyam tathā dukkataram nukim. Avācha, they will use all the bad languages against you, and people on the Pandava side may be yelling at this person who we banked on him to fight the war, and he went and did tapas and had a Pashupata astra, and he went to the Indraloka and he acquired the dancing skill, Gandharva Vidya he learnt, various skills he learnt. Everything has gone into ruin, and this person has ran away. People in the talk in very bad languages, avācha vādanscha bahūn, innumerable languages, they start criticizing you and yelling at you, vadishyanti, and it's this negative talking against you won't bring in any joy to your life. So they will talk in front of you, at your back. Nindastava samarthyam, though you are capable, when they start talking against you, in front and behind you, Tato dukkataram nu kim. What more is worse than that one? That what more be sorrowful than that one? When people are talking against, criticizing you right on your face, what more is more depressing than this one? This one can be. Hato va prapsyasi swargam.
Hato va prapyasi swargam.
Jitva va bhokshyase mahim.
Jitva va bhokshase mahim.
Tasmat uttishta kaunteya.
Tasmad uttishta kaunteya.
Yuddhaya krita nischayah.
Yuddhaya krita nischayah.
Hato va prapsyasi swargam.
Hato va prapsyasi swargam.
Jitva va bhokshyase mahim.
Jitva va bhokshase mahim.
Tasmat uttishta kaunteya.
Tasmad uttishta kaunteya.
Yuddhaya krita nischayah.
Yuddhaya krita nischayah.
And Shri Krishna, that he's made an argument and he's trying to conclude his argument, conclude his uttishta. He has, as I mentioned 3 weeks back, Lord Shri Krishna talks about uttishta 4 times in Bhagavad Gita. In Kathopanishad it comes uttishtata jagrata prapyavara nibodhata. 1 times it comes, Lord Shri Krishna says 4 times. At the beginning of this chapter, it is Shri Krishna says, kṣhudraṁ hṛidaya-daurbalyaṁ tyaktvottiṣhṭa parantapa. And at the beginning, Shri Krishna says, shake off your weak-heartedness and stand up. He says at the beginning. And here, in the second time, he talks about tasmat yuddhaya, it's tasmat uttishta kaunteya. You have to get up. Tasmat uttishta kaunteya. You have to get up. Kaunteya, your mother Kunti. Kunti is so brave person. You are a son of Kunti, and such a person, you have to get up. You have to bring a glory to your mother. Such a brave mother, you have to bring a glory to your mother. The tasmat uttishta, you have to get up and make a yuddhaya krita nischayam. Make a firm resolution that you will fight a battle of your life. You will come off from an inaction, akarma. You won't side with vikarma. And you will do the action such a way that it will bring a joy, glory to your mother. And what happens? Make up your mind. This resolution is more important than the outcome of the action. I may be successful, may not be successful. It doesn't matter. The attitude behind the action is more important than the outcome. Whatever may be the outcome, I may succeed, may not be succeed. Outcome is not important. Attitude is more important. With this firm resolution, I will fight the battle of my life. Suppose I am a failure. I did not succeed. Hatova, doesn't matter, Lord Shri Krishna says. Even if you do not succeed, it's okay. You will attain the highest. Hatova prapsyasi swargam. You will, the doors to heaven will be open for you. The divine beings will welcome with both arms for your resolution, your attitude towards the action. They will open the doors with open-handed. They will welcome you. Hatova prapsyasi swargam, jitva va bhokshyase mahim. In case if you succeed, you will get additional bonus of enjoying and enjoying here, glory in the earth, in the glory in your life. You are inspiring others, you are succeeded here, and you will enjoy the life here as well as hereafter. In case if you are failure, doesn't matter. You will hereafter it is good. Divine beings are so pleased with you. And the message, Lord Shri Krishna says, outcome is not the important. Whether I am a rich person or a pauper, I tried whatever. Doesn't matter what is the outcome. What is the mode of my life. What car I drive, where I live, and whether I have a 2 square meal I have a mansion, doesn't matter. This outcome, whatever I am doing, outcome, but your attitude, with what attitude you are living the life is more important. Whatever I am doing, I may be a small painter, small carpenter, or I am a millionaire, multi-millionaire business. What is the outcome? You may be a millionaire or an ordinary person on the street. Doesn't matter. With what attitude you do, that is more important. Shri Krishna says, get up. Doesn't matter what is the outcome. Attitude behind the outcome is the mark of a person who has succeeded. Whether you are in Australia or India, you are in an ordinary job, doesn't matter where you are, where is the outcome. The outcome, whether you are in a luxurious country, America, England, or Australia, or a developing country, or a poor country, doesn't matter. Whatever you do in your life, and whatever it has been come in front of you, the attitude, with what attitude you do the work, that matters. Now the Lord has opened up a new window for us to gaze at the world. This window, we never thought of this window before. We thought that our life is only through this window. When this window has opened up, we realize this whole earth is a small stage and whole universe is an arena. The people were in the small stage. I am playing my game. I am acting on the stage of this small stage called as earth. I am playing the game of my life in front of the arena of the universe. My vision is the universal vision. When I am working on that one, what can stop you? You are a victorious person already. You have achieved what to be achieved in your life. You are already a victorious person. This window, Lord has opened up in front of us today. That dimension we never thought of. How uplifting! How uplifting is this one? It is a character building scripture. And it is a Bhagavad Gita is a man making. How you be a different person, how you can make a difference to the community. Shri Krishna is talking to all of us on this one. Repeat the 3 shlokas we covered. Bhayadranadu paratam mansyante tvam maharataha yesham cha tvam bahumato bhutva yasyasi laghavam avācha vādanscha bahūn vadishyanti tavāhitaha nindanstava samartyam tato dukkataram nukim hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshyase mahīn tasmāt uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritanishchaya vasudeva sutam devam
ದೇವಂ
ಕಂಸಚಾಣೂರಮರ್ದನಂ
ಕಂಸಚಾಣೂರಮರ್ದನಂ
ದೇವಕೀ ಪರಮಾನಂದಂ
ದೇವಕೀ ಪರಮಾನಂದಂ
ಕೃಷ್ಣಂ ವಂದೇ ಜಗದ್ಗುರುಂ
ಕೃಷ್ಣಂ ವಂದೇ ಜಗದ್ಗುರುಂ.
ಟರ್ನ್ ಆಫ್.